Hello, loves. I'm Kachelle from Holistic Healing and Wellness. It's my shirt to say it all here. I like my shirt. Yes. Join my membership, my VIP Ginger Juice membership. You get a shirt just like this. Okay? I hope you all are doing well today. I am Kachelle Staples, owner of Holistic Healing and Wellness by Kachelle's Corner. And we are here today to talk about the rest of the adaptogenic mushrooms. Okay, we started from talking about the Rise mushroom coffee. Okay, and they have 6 mushrooms, and we're talking about the last 3 today. Okay, which is turkey tail, lion's mane, and king trumpet. Okay, so as you all come into the room, wave to me, let me know that you're here, and let me know where you are hailing from. Okay, again, thank you all for being here this Sunday afternoon. It's a beautiful day. Fall is slowly approaching and fastly approaching, and I say that because the weather is so unpredictable. I mean, it was cold last week, a little chilly, a little rainy, and then now this week it's going to be like in the 70s, well, at least where I am. I'm in Iowa, and we might have a few 80s. But the leaves are falling off the trees. Like some leaves over here are actually, trees are bare. So it's weird. The weather is just a little goofy right now, but it is just what it is, right? Because everything is under the Most High's control. So maybe I shouldn't say goofy. But anyway, y'all, it's so good to be here with you all. I'm delighted to do what I do. I do it because I have a passion for the people, to heal the people as much as I can, in giving knowledge, information, suggestions on how they can move from using so much of the pharmaceuticals and literally looking to your own cupboards, your own backyards, growing and using herbs and spices and roots and flowers and making tinctures and balms and things like that to heal your family, to heal yourselves, to heal the people around you, and just so that you can be informed. So I'm so grateful to be here. I would rather be no place than where I am right now. Okay? So again, thank you all for being here with me. So you all, we're talking about the mushrooms. So right now, Rise mushroom coffee is all the rave, right? And so I've been taking it, and it's been so delightful for me. It's definitely it's helping with my allergies. It's definitely giving me more clarity in my thoughts. My thought process is sharper, is becoming more sharper, and I definitely have more energy. So for those who are wondering how that mushroom coffee is doing, it's awesome, and it was something that I have been wanting for a minute. And just before I went out of town, my daughter surprised me and bought me a pack. And so at the end of the day, it's so good for you, but it has mushrooms in it that we can use, obviously, outside of the Rise mushroom coffee. Okay, so I thought it just interesting and important to talk about those mushrooms, because I've noticed that on Facebook, at least on my page, we have a huge amount of men, black men, who are actually using these mushrooms and, teaching us how to cook the mushrooms, and kind of in place of, protein. So it's so interesting to see them really delve into the different mushroom types, and depending, I guess, on where you live, you can go to the market, and see the different varieties of mushrooms. Where I am, we don't have that. We have portobello mushrooms, the small ones, or even the big ones, and the medium-sized ones. That's it. Well, hello, sis. Thank you for being with me. You only eat mushrooms on pizza? Sis, you missing out. You missing out. I get you, though, because I like my mushrooms on pizza, too. But depending on where you live at, they don't sell, reishi, shiitake, and turkey tail, a lion's mane, and king trumpet mushrooms. Where's that at? I've never seen them other than pictures and on these videos that I'm seeing these guys make these different dishes. And I'm like, where are they at our in our markets? Nowhere. Nowhere in where I live at, okay? Thank you, and tell them I love them too. Thank you. I appreciate that. The Williams family is just a beautiful family. My sister Yolanda has been there with me through thick and thin, and I love her to pieces. We don't talk enough, but it's okay. We don't have to talk every day. She knows I love her, and I know she loves me. And her family are just the best. They are based in Chicago. Her family has a church, I believe New Miracle Temple, and they're just the whole family. And they're one of them families that's a big family, right? They got a lot of kids, like how back in the day, them 10 and 12. Yolanda, how many is it of you all? Because there's a slew of y'all. But anyway, they got a big family, and they are so sweet, so supportive. So, calling out to the Williams family, to my girl Yolanda, thank you so much for being here with me. 12, yes, 12, baby. 12 boys and girls, okay? Mama Flora was doing it, okay? And she looks absolutely wonderful. So does Daddy Williams. But anyway, they're my second family, okay? And my own family, my grandma, my aunties, and them, they all went to the same church, so they literally are family. So anyway, y'all, mushrooms. These mushrooms are so good for you. So again, you don't have to, just buy products that have mushrooms in it to get the benefits. If you live in a place where your market is various and you have varieties of all kind of things, fish, fruits and vegetables from all over, and then you have mushrooms and things like that, then I would really advise you to go and try those different things out. Some of them look weird. Some of them are funny looking because we've just never seen, these type of mushrooms. For the most of us, we've only been introduced to just those portobello mushrooms, okay? And those are the ones that are primarily used on pizzas and things like that. But at the end of the day, y'all, I'm so glad that you all are here with me. Let's really, really get into it and start talking about these mushrooms, okay? So, last week we talked about shiitake, reishi, and it's another one that I know I'm forgetting that we talked about. It's the third one. Shiitake, reishi, and it's some other one. I can't remember the name of it, but this time we're about to talk about these last three: turkey tail, lion's mane, and king trumpet, okay? So if there's any questions that you have for me while the live is on, please do shoot them to me as it pertains to the topic, okay? So basically, turkey tail has been historically used in traditional medicines for thousands of years, as has a lot of these mushrooms, okay? This is just nothing new. A lot of times when we see things come across Facebook, Instagram or YouTube and things like that, they're just trending, okay? Which I thank God for these platforms. A lot of people, like to demonize it. Ain't nothing but Satan and all this bad stuff. It's not. Actually, these platforms has allowed us to know the truth about things that have been hidden. They're very informative. And they have their cynical parts of them, and they have, some parts it's like, okay, why are we sharing, or why are, they just putting this on there? But it is what it is. It's very personable to whoever's uploading these videos and such. So, and you can choose what you want to watch. So I love that. At the end of the day, social media has allowed for a platform for people like myself to really delve into what it is that you have a passion for and share with the masses. And that's why I'm here, because I love helping people. I want to see people well, living well, thriving, and being in the medical field for the many years that I was in it. I've seen a lot of things transpire. A lot of people not really getting well from the medications they were given. A lot of people just been given like a band-aid to their sicknesses or illnesses. A lot of people have been triple dosed, double dosed, and in hopes of a cure, in hopes of feeling better, in hopes of alleviating pain and suffering and or disease, and to no avail. A lot of times we lean on the doctors and the physicians because that's that's what's typical, right? That's what, we're supposed to do. Whenever we get sick, we run to the hospital and the doctors. But back in the day, y'all, our ancestors did not do that. They didn't even have hospitals for people of color, not until years and years later. So we had to rely on our ancestors and what they used for eyes, for pain, for your hip, for childbirth, all kind of things. If we was having ear aches, or for babies who are teething and things like that, we went to our elders, and they gave us the remedy. Oh, mash this up and put it around the neck, or stuff this in the baby's navel, and put this around the baby's neck, and make a necklace of onions and put it around, to shoo away the cold and draw out the inflammation or the phlegm. Technology has brought in a lot of beautiful things to us, but also we have forgotten about the old age of how we used to heal our bodies and heal ourselves. We've come to modern society, and modern society has brought a whole slew of things that can help us in so many ways, okay? But at the same time, we've just totally neglected, a lot of us, we've totally neglected the old ways. And because there's a way that you can, bring in the old and continue with the new as well, you know what I'm saying, and still be made whole in our bodies. But we've kind of thrown that away, the old ways, a lot of us, and it's like, oh, this is better because it's a pill. We don't have to chop, we don't got to go find in a forest, we don't have to scrape out bark and go dig for, mushrooms or for this root and this and that. We just put aside all that. But what we have done is neglected our health in doing that. We've neglected to really heal ourselves completely of whatever it is that has been ailing us. And so I'm bringing the knowledge back through the Most High to inform you as to what you can use medicinally, healthily wise, herbals and spices and things like that, and roots and making tinctures and balms and such, so that we can heal our bodies completely and not be so dependent on the pharmaceutical companies and them giving us patches and pills and shots, and then later on that's not working, and you've done all that you could do. You've changed your diet, you've lost weight, but you still are on this pill, and now they want to double dose you, up your dosage and things like that. And then after that it's not working, now they want to chop off stuff and take things away from you, do surgery and stuff. It's just a lot. But the Bible has given us the trees and the flowers to heal us, okay? And that's what I'm here to talk about, okay? I'm here to inform you. I'm here to help you, to guide you while I'm still doing my study. I've not arrived. There's certain things in my life that I'm still trying out. I told you I was plagued with allergies. And so I'm trying different things and studying about different things to see what can alleviate, me having to be sneezing freaking all day long. And, from the summer into the winter time, it never stops, so I'm trying different things and they are working for me. So I'm sharing what it is that I'm getting relief from and what I'm using as well. Okay. So mushrooms. Okay. So today, turkey tails, like I said, historically, these mushrooms have been used for centuries, okay, in ancient Egypt, China. They were highly valued, and their medicinal properties were often used to promote longevity and overall health, which is what we want it to do for us today, okay? A lot of times they brewed the mushrooms to make teas and such, and soups, and they treated like different, illnesses and like flu and the common cold and stomach issues with the turkey-tailed mushrooms. And so today we can do the same thing. Nothing has changed. There is really nothing new under the sun. If they used it centuries ago in China and Japan, and across the oceans, then why is it that we can't use it today for the same, to remedy ourselves of the same issues? Flus, coughs, colds are very prevalent today. Okay, so when we talk about any time of stomach issues, there's a plethora of that going around. So at the end of the day, we need to bring these things back. We need to start using them and spreading the word, to let people know. You don't have to use cough syrups, unless they're made from really whole ingredients and things like that, and no fake sugars, and real ingredients that's really going to, every ingredient is doing some wonderful thing for your body, okay? So basically, turkey tail came from, they're basically commonly found on like fallen logs. So if you take trails, which I was doing a lot of times this summer with my sister Diete, we was taking a whole bunch of trails. And you'll find these turkey tail mushrooms on like fallen logs, tree stumps, and in forests all around the world. Okay, so it doesn't matter where you are around the world, you'll find these mushrooms there. Okay, they thrive on hardwood trees like oak, beech and maple, but can also be found on like conifer trees. Okay, and so like they said, it's nowhere that you cannot find these mushrooms, okay, because they're on these stumps, they're in every forest just about. Okay, and what they do for our health, for the health benefits, is that the turkey tail mushrooms are known for their immune boosting properties, and they enhance, and so we know that we need a strong immune system, right? And they enhance the body's defense mechanisms, because that's what the immune system is. The immune system is our body's defense mechanism. So anything that improves, boosts, and helps the immune system is something that we need, okay, and something that we have to have, because if we don't have a strong immune system, you all, and I know y'all know this is very basic, so don't mind me if I seem like I'm teaching elementary, but I'm doing that just for the basis so we can sometimes kind of build. The immune system is very important, or else we all would be sitting around here if our immune systems were not strong. Anything that passed us by, any type of cold, any type of virus, any type of bacterial infection or whatever type of things, or bacteria, if we did not have a strong immune system, we would catch anything that came by us. And that's no good, because it's almost synonymous to a person whose immune system is not, they don't have an immune system. Okay, and that's possible. A lot of times you hear people who have HIV or AIDS, full-blown AIDS, their immune system is null and void. Their immune system is they'll say they don't have an immune system, but they do have an immune system. It's just that the immune system is not working at all like it should. So where, let's just say, a healthy person's immune system is working at, 100%, 98%, most of the time, a person that is immunocompromised, is their immune system is working 50%, close to 50% or less, or lower than that. Okay, so they are more susceptible to things that our bodies, for the healthier person, is able to fight instantly. Okay, so we need a strong immune system. So with the turkey tail mushrooms, they provide that huge dose of immune boosting properties that enhances the body's defense mechanism. Okay, they also have anti-cancer properties. Okay, anti-cancer properties. Cancer is running rampant these days, and it has been for years, and I always get on this rant about how they have not found supposedly any cures for cancer. Don't y'all find that a little odd? They don't have a cure for any cancers? Yeah, that's really odd to me. But cancer is running rampant, has been running rampant for so many years, okay? And a lot of people can say it's hereditary. Some people, cancers are being seen through our hereditary lines, cancer, breast cancer, uterine cancer, colon cancers, and things like that. And some of it is based on what we're eating. Some of it is based on just the environment and where we're living at geographically. So some of it has nothing to do with hereditary, some of the cancers. But turkey tails have a compound that's a polysaccharide, okay, that have shown potentials in supporting cancer treatments. Okay, polysaccharide just means many sugars. Saccharide is a sugar. Okay, but they have this compound within turkey tail that helps to support and treat cancer. Okay, and so that's why turkey tail is really good for you, and it helps to improve the outcome if you have cancer, and it's also helps you to obviously not get cancer. So if you're constantly ingesting turkey tails mushrooms, then it's going to help to prevent cancer. It also is an antioxidant. It has antioxidant properties, and these mushrooms help combat oxidative stress. Now, some may ask, okay, what exactly is oxidative stress? Because sometimes when I do my study, I run across things that are commonly said, but maybe the lay person don't understand what exactly is oxidative stress and free radicals and things like that. So while turkey tail mushrooms have antioxidant properties, antioxidants basically help get rid of free radicals, okay? And oxidative stress is a condition that occurs basically when there is an imbalance of free radicals and antioxidants in the body, okay? So these mushrooms have oxidative, help to combat oxidative stress. And oxidative stress, just like I said, it's no good for the body. It's a condition that there's an imbalance basically of free radicals, and free radicals is basically unstable atoms that can damage the DNA and cause diseases like cancer. So it damages DNAs and cells and causes different cancers in the body. Okay, and so when you have turkey tail come in and you're constantly ingesting it, or you just eat it, I'm gonna say constantly, but you have that in your body, the strong antioxidant properties help to combat oxidative stress and protect the cells from any type of damage. Okay, so we need that. We need something that is within our bodies that is going to protect us from cell damage. Okay, and turkey tail mushrooms come in and do that job quite well. Okay, it also helps with gut health. So if you're having gut issues like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, and I mean IBS is the same, irritable bowel syndrome, you have Crohn's disease and colitis and leaky gut syndrome and all those type of things that are messing with your digestive system, messing with your stomach, including your intestines. Baby turkey tail comes in and say, hey, I got you. We're going to support that gut health. We're going to make sure that we support it by your gut health by helping to get the gut bacteria in balance and improve digestion. Okay, because a lot of times we have bacteria in our bodies. We have good bacteria, and when the bad bacteria comes in, then now it's a war between the good bacteria that we need to thrive on and the bad bacteria that we don't need at all, that causes damage and wreaks havoc in our bodies. So there has to be a balance, okay? And within that balance, if our system is out of balance with it and we're overran with bad bacteria, that's when we start having problems. And when we're talking about gut issues, now our gut biome is out of whack. Okay, we don't digest food very well. Our intestines are not moving waste out of our systems. Now we're leaking. A leaky gut system leaky gut syndrome is basically our holes and perforations in our gut that's seeping out into the rest of our bodies, which is no good. And then we have things like polyps within your intestines that is no good, that holds on to food passing by and feces and stuff passing by in your intestines. And now that could be a breeding ground for bacteria, and that breeding ground for bacteria now causes more issues with your intestines, and it's just a snowball effect. So with eating mushrooms, okay, and specifically turkey tail mushrooms, they help to keep all this crap down for your crap. They help to balance your gut health, okay, to promote gut bacteria so that your gut biome is at its best, and your gut biome is equal. You have equilibrium, okay, in your gut, so that everything is balanced and there's nothing that's going to set it off, because this mushroom helps to keep that balance, okay. And that's what we need. Obviously, we need to have good gut health, because our gut is connected to our digestion connected to the elimination process with our intestines. So we need all of that to be good, okay? And so we have this mushroom coming in and saying, hey, I got you, okay? So with all these properties, you cannot lose with this mushroom, right? So for those who have never tasted it, go out and taste and try out turkey tails. It's not something that should be foreign in our diets today. Try out different things that you've never tried out before. And then I know that even for myself, that sometimes, going to the market and looking at certain fruits and vegetables that I have never seen or eaten, yeah, it might be a little intimidating. Like, what is this? I've never seen this before. Pick it up and try it. Google it. Go to YouTube. And see, hey, how do I fix this particular fruit? How do I fix this particular vegetable? You might not ever know that this vegetable or this fruit could help you with whatever you're ailed with, or whatever your ailment is. And so, sticking to turkey tails, y'all, it has anti-inflammatory properties. Okay, so it helps to reduce inflammation in the body. And like I always say, there's a certain amount of inflammation that our bodies have to have. Okay, again, now we're talking about a balance. When our bodies are overrun with inflammation, that's when we start seeing acute and then chronic diseases. Okay, because inflammation is not, when it's out of balance and out of whack, it's not good for our bodies. But turkey tail this mushroom comes in, and it balances, and it helps to reduce the inflammation in our bodies. Okay, so that's why you need to have that, and you need to find just a way to cook that into your diet. Go and look in your market. And like I said, I wish they had them here. I would probably have to buy them online to actually, eat them and consume them, because where I live, they just don't have them. But I'm going to start doing that. I don't want to just be talking about these things and not tell you how it tastes. I would love to be sitting here and saying, you know what, turkey tail mushrooms has this type of flavor to it. It has this type of texture, and this is how you make it. I don't know that, because I'm still exploring as well. Okay, and I will come back on here at some point and do a live or just a video on these different mushrooms that I'm talking about, and tell you, hey, I've got this, and I'll have it, a picture of it, I'll have it with me, and how I used it, what I used it in, how did I prepare it, what the texture is, what it tastes like, and what different spices you want to use to enhance the flavor or whatever. So I do want to do that, and that's coming pretty soon. Okay, this turkey tail mushroom also helps with stress and fatigue. So those who are just stressed out, and I'm not talking about even just like bodily stress, like you're stressed out from work, or just the typical stresses that come with just living in today's world. Okay, there's a stress that we wear on ourselves and our bodies without even knowing it. There's a good stress, it's called eustress. Okay, and then there's a bad stress where it's like, man, I'm so stressed out, and you got headaches, you're anxiety ridden, maybe you lose your appetite, those type of things. That's not a good stress. Okay, so this mushroom helps to reduce stress and fatigue, okay, mentally and physically, and manage the stress, promoting relaxation and better sleep. Okay, who can't use better sleep? Who can't use relaxation? Baby, anytime today when I can get a chance to sit back and relax, I do. Because Cashel I'm moving. I'm always moving. And I had to learn that by myself. Like, my family be talking about me. They say, they come over, and I'm constantly, catering and doing things for them. And Pauline, welcome, sweetie. Should I need a wisdom tooth out, causing a lot of pain? Oh, sis, I'm so sorry to hear that. I've never had a toothache, so I cannot even say I understand. I just know they're horrible. And I'm praying for you right now for that toothache. And you on live right now with me? Thank you for being such a trooper. And if you wanted me to look into what you can use for that toothache, I can get right back to you right after this live, okay? Okay? I can get back to you right after this live and tell you what you need. You're welcome, sis. And thank you for being here. Okay? Take care of yourself. And I can tell you one thing you can use right now, some cloves. If you chop up some cloves and put that in between your teeth, like, and make it a little poultice. Okay, so yeah, have you tried that? Because you say, I'll get with you, sis. I'll get with you as soon as this is over with, and I'll send you some suggestions, okay? And I also want y'all to know that I do have a platform where I take personal consultations. I do personal consultations for people who have all kind of issues and illnesses and are plagued with disease. For those who are needing instructions, like, what can I do? I've been taking this medication and it's not working for me. Do you have any suggestions? And I'll sit there with the person and I'll suggest, what herbs and spices you need to be using and incorporating into your diet. What exercises, if you're able to exercise, that you need to be doing if you're, trying to lose weight as well. That'll help to facilitate the healing of said disease or illness. I also will walk you through a 30-day diet, a 30-day, and I say diet, but it's not a diet, it's a 30-day meal plan as to what, you can eat to slowly get that, your disease under control, okay, and eradicate it, ultimately. It's in practices, okay, I'm going to look into that. Have you already went to the dentist, sis? And they told you that it's impacted? So we'll talk about that. Yeah. So sis, like I said, I'll get with you after the live and I'll help you out with that. But I do have that service. Okay. Go to my Candidly account and the link should be on this page somewhere to show you or tell you where you can go if you're really struggling with, a disease or an illness and you just really need help and you're tired of taking medications that are not working for you. I can help you, okay? So you all, these mushrooms I'm talking about are adaptogenic mushrooms, and adaptogenic mushrooms basically can help the body manage stress, anxiety, fatigue, and other stressors in the body. Thank you. And are different. Adaptogenic mushrooms are different from hallucinogenic or magic mushrooms, okay? Just want y'all to know that. They're not the same. They aren't mind altering. They don't affect the mind or the perception. Adaptogenic interacts with the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal gland axis, which is responsible for the body's stress response and balance. Okay? So it's not the same as hallucinogenic or happy mushrooms. It's so different. It really works with the hypothalamus and the pituitary and adrenal gland. Which is responsible again for the responses, for the body's response, stress response, and to balance the stresses in the body, okay, or to balance that stress response. So at the end of the day, go out and try you out some turkey tail mushrooms. And get with the sister. Leave a comment if you all have tried it before, and you say, hey, it tastes like this, it looks like this. Well, I know how it looks, but still, just how do you cook it? So I would love to hear suggestions on that. Okay. So now we're going to talk about king trumpet mushrooms, also known as Pleurotus ergini. Okay, that's the scientific name for it. Okay. And the king trumpet mushrooms have been activated and cultivated and used in traditional medicine just like turkey tails for thousands of years, and mostly in ancient Egypt where they were known to cultivate them for over 5,000 years ago. And in China they've been used for cooking in their cuisines, and medicinally they've been used since the Zhou dynasty. Okay, and that's like 1040 6 to 25 BC. They were valued for their health benefits, including but not limited to antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory properties. Okay, so look, y'all, they were used back in the day, centuries and centuries ago. Okay, I just told you 1046 to 26 BC, 25 BC. That's So why aren't we using these mushrooms right now? We're just now learning about these mushrooms that can just impact us in such a positive way now. Isn't this something? Who was going to tell us? Who's going to tell us? These things should have been passed down, and maybe they were and got lost, But I'm saying these mushrooms have been used for centuries to help heal the body. So again, there's nothing new under the sun, but we have forgotten. We have been lost with a lot of this knowledge, this medicinal knowledge, this herbal knowledge, and these healing fruits and vegetables and mushrooms. So we're getting back into it. So we can't just cry over the fact that we did not know. So now we know now. So now what we're going to do with that information? What are we doing with this knowledge? Right? Been used for over thousands of years ago to help people. It was traditional medicine. traditional. Like, this is okay. What you said? Oh, girl, use that king trumpet. That's gonna cure it. We don't be talking like that today. Oh, girl, did you use that new Cialis? Yeah, to help your guy get his stuff. We can name those things really off the bat, off the top of our heads. But when it comes to medicinal things, herbal and spices and those type of remedies, we have to, now we got to dig, because they don't just come to us like some of the pharmaceutical medications do. Because the pharmaceutical medications, they're advertised, and even if you don't know it just by heart, if you're listening to a show and the commercials come on and they talking about these medications, subconsciously you just picking it up. Well, they ain't talking about king trumpet. They ain't talking about turkey tail mushrooms and lion's mane mushrooms. Nowhere on any place that's really where you can grasp it, like, oh my God, I just heard on TV that use the king trumpet mushrooms, for this, use it for that. Because it's too easy. It don't cost you nothing to go and get that stuff, and it's not made in a lab. So they want to give you stuff that they didn't concoct it in a lab, and we're guinea pigs. That's why they say that they're practicing medicine. They practicing medicine on us. Yeah. So we got to get with it, y'all. Listen to some of these things that these people are talking about. It's healing. I just learned about this Jimenez, or I'm probably butchering the name, but this specific honey that Dr. Sebi talked about that heals cataracts, glaucoma, farsightedness, nearsighted. I mean, it clears out floaters. What? I'm going to do more research, and I'll be back on here talking about it. Because we have a lot of people out here suffering through their eyesight. They're losing their eyesight. They're going blind. And these medications that they have out here, these drops and stuff they're giving them, they ain't doing nothing. And we don't halfway know if what they're giving us is a placebo. So we have to become wise, y'all. When we're giving things by the doctors or being prescribed things, start looking up what they're giving you. Start looking up these different ingredients and find out. Go to Google, find out what it is that is in this product, so you can know what you're putting in your body. And this stuff, are these ingredients really helping my eyesight? Are these ingredients really helping my gut? Are these ingredients in this medication they're giving me really helping my asthma or helping my, congestive heart failure? You better start doing your own research, because we are being practiced on, and we're leaving it all up to the doctors to get us better. That's so the opposite way around. Okay, so we have to become wiser, y'all, when it comes to our health, when it comes to your life, because that's what it is. Your life is your health. Be concerned. Okay? All right. That's enough talking about that. So y'all, basically, King Trumpet's mushrooms are native to the Mediterranean region, okay? Such as, in Asia, basically. And they typically grow on roofs, hardwood trees like oak, elm, and beeches, just the same as turkey tails, pretty much. Okay, they thrive in areas with moist soil, high humidity, and moderate temperature. Okay, so it can't be super hot, but the humidity is what it really needs. Okay, now the health benefits of this particular mushroom, King Trumpet, is that it also, just like turkey tail, it boosts the immune system. And that's what I like about these mushrooms. You'll hear me talk about all of them pretty much have the same properties to a certain degree. Some of them have a little more, but the immune boosting, antioxidants and things like that, they pretty much, you'll start hearing their similarities, and some of them are pretty much have the same properties, okay, which makes them that's why they're very powerful. And the persons or the company, the people behind Rise Mushroom Coffee, they pick these mushrooms because they are very compatible, working together, and they give you a huge boost of these properties, antioxidant properties, immune boosting properties, stress and fatigue properties and heart health properties and things like that that help you. And they're, some of them work really for different cancers and things like that. They got these and put them all together because when you do take them, they just give you a huge impact and a powerful impact of really just boosting your body with what you need, okay? And so I love that they put these mushrooms together because they all individually have such beautiful and powerful properties to them. So bring them all together, it's just going to be a major impact to your body systems, okay? So the King Trumpet, it helps with your heart. So it helps to reduce the the bad cholesterol in your body, okay, which is LDL, and increase the HDL, okay, in your body. So lowering cholesterol is always good, okay, lowering the cholesterol, and it supports cardiovascular health, which means it just supports your heart health. So lowering cholesterol means that it's making sure that there's no deposits, it's making sure that you have decreased deposits within your arteries, okay, leading to your heart and throughout your body, okay? So we need that. We need our heart is our ticker, so we need that heart to be running efficiently. And if King Trumpet is going to help with reducing our cholesterol, then we need that, because reducing our cholesterol helps to keep our blood pressure in balance as well, okay, at a decent level, okay? So it also is good with weight management. King Trumpet mushrooms are low in calories and high in fiber, okay, making them a great addition to a weight management diet. So if you're trying to lose weight, this is the mushroom, the go-to mushroom, okay, because it's going to help you to lose that weight, and it's high in fiber, okay? And we need fiber in our diet. Don't let nobody tell you you don't. So also gut health, that's another thing that we've talked about across the board. Gut health across the board with all these mushrooms, it helps with your gut. You need to have a healthy gut biome. If you don't, you are jacked up from the minute you start eating to your stomach all the way to your intestines. We need all of that to be running efficiently. So if you can take anything natural that's going to help keep that gut biome running right and regulated right, then let's do that. And right now we're talking about the King Trumpet mushroom, and these jokers say, hey, we'll help you out. We're going to support gut health by promoting healthy gut bacteria and improving digestion. And that's what you want. That's exactly what you want. You don't want something that's just coming in and it's going to temporarily, through chemicals and through stuff they didn't made up in the lab, to temporarily, seemingly balance your gut health and get rid of that bacteria that's not needed and improve digestion. You want something surefire is going to make sure that your gut is right. And you can't do that with chemicals that they have experimented with in the lab. I'm sorry, you can't. And what they do, let me tell you what they do. So if we know ginseng is really good, and ginkgo biloba is good for your brain health, support your brain, meninges of the brain, the neurons in your brain and things like that, right? So what they'll do, they'll come out with some type of medication or some type of pill that has ginkgo biloba in it, okay? And they'll sell it, hey, it's going to sharpen your memory, your recall memory. It's going to have you to be sharp in your thoughts and things like that. They'll sell it and you're like, man, I need that. And they'll have a trace amount, a very small trace amount of ginkgo biloba. That's how they pull you in. But then you look at the look at the ingredients in the back of it. Okay, how much ginkgo biloba? 0.000017%. What they doing? They practicing medicine on you. They pulled you in by telling you about something that you know already that is going to be good for you, because ginkgo biloba is good for your mind. I mean, it's good for other things too, but it's good for the sharpness of your brain, your mind, recalling memories and things like that, and just being sharp, mentally. Okay, so they'll pull you in by saying that this is what this is going to do for you. But when you look at how much ginkgo biloba they actually have in it, you literally do get a trace amount. You might as well just go and get ginkgo biloba yourself and just start taking that, using it as a tea, blend it up and putting it in your smoothies or your drinks that you drink every day, your juice and stuff. At least you know what you're putting in your drink. When you rely on them, baby, they're not reliable. And they can tell you anything. Now they now have to say, oh, this will give you heart failure and this and that, it's supposed to help you, okay? But in the end, it sounds like if you take this too much, that it can have some severe side effects. Okay, and some of it is like adverse to what it's trying to do, supposed to be doing for your body. Like, okay, this is supposed to help me, but in the interim, it's messing with my lungs, it's messing with my big toe, it's messing with the follicles in my hair. What's really happening? So do your own research and stop relying so much on this pharmaceutical, because we are being tested on. Test yourself. Test on yourself with these I can't talk. These adaptogenic, adaptogenic mushrooms. Test these mushrooms on your own body, on your own health. Take them for so many weeks and days and say, look, it's done this for me, or no, this is not doing anything for me. Test stuff on yourself, and good stuff, the pure stuff that's coming from out there in the forest, out there under the grass, on the bark of the trees and the flowers and things like that. Not what they've concocted in the lab to basically simulate or imitate what is really out here, that they can get and give it to you and it cures you, and not get a portion or a trace amount of it to you and say, oh, let's see how that does with all these other chemicals that you cannot pronounce. What are we doing? That's why we're not getting better, because our bodies don't respond to chemicals. They respond to biological things that's been grown from where we came from, the dirt, the trees, our flowers, our fruits. That's why when you begin to eat those things, your body starts responding very well, because it recognizes, like, wow, our body recognizes the healing properties from those things, because they're not chemically made. They're naturally made from the Most High. Y'all hear what I'm saying to you? Okay, don't let me have to get the Holy Ghost up in here. Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. Okay, these adaptogenic mushrooms, and all of them are adaptogenic mushrooms, are so good for our bodies. Okay, experiment on yourself with the good stuff. Do your due diligence and studying, and say, I'm gonna just try this out, see what it does for me. They're already telling you, the King Trumpet already said it's good for your immune system, it's good for your heart health, it's good for your gut health, it helps you lose weight. Who don't want to lose a few pounds? Okay? Get with it, y'all. I'm telling y'all. It has anti-inflammatory properties, just like the King Trump. Well, this is King Trumpet. What was the last one we did, y'all? Just like the turkey tail. Okay, and because they do have similar properties and some of the same properties, even more powerful to add them to your diet. Okay, the King Trumpet also has cognitive benefits. Okay, great benefits, cognitive benefits. They are rich in antioxidants that protect the brain cells and improve cognitive function. And we need that, because we are riddled today with dementia and Alzheimer's disease. It runs in my family. It may run in your family. If it doesn't, then God bless you. Thank God for that. But if you know if it runs, anything that runs through your family that's not good, don't wait till it happens upon you. What are we doing, y'all? Let's be proactive in our health. If we know heart attacks and strokes and diabetes and stuff runs through our family, then know that knowledge, know that information, and be proactive about making sure that you don't fall prey to those pre-existing conditions that run already in your family. Why are you waiting for it to happen to you? Especially if you ain't getting up out of your bed or the couch and chair and your lazy boy and just sitting all day. It's knocking at your door, because you're just sitting in it. You're not getting up, moving. I guess you're going to go out the way great grandpa did and big mama went out, or your mom or your dad or your aunties. Why are we doing that? You don't love life? You don't want to live a healthy life? You don't want your quality of life to be great? You want to be sick? Come on. We don't want to be sick. Miss Aubrey, how you doing? And welcome. She said, I had the rise just a little over a month, but I got to be more consistent. Yes. For anything to work, sweetie, you have to be consistent with it. And it's funny because I do talk to a lot of people about their health, and they will have tried certain things. Like, oh yeah, I tried, eating some beets, or, making beet smoothies or whatever, to lower my blood pressure. But I haven't seen the change. Well, how long have you done it? Oh, just 2 weeks. I ain't seen nothing. Okay, well, it didn't take you 2 weeks to get high blood pressure, now did it? So why is it 2 weeks why are you just giving this 2 weeks for this, the beet, smoothie to work for you? It's going to take time, but you have to be consistent. So I would say, sweetie, just be consistent with it. I got rise too. I think since I've had it, I probably didn't take it 2 days and not consecutively. But we got to be consistent. And sometimes, we don't mean to be inconsistent. We're just doing so much, but we have to take time to take care of us. Okay? So keep on being consistent, and I promise you're going to see results, because I have been seeing results. Okay? That's some good stuff. So I am talking about it. If you want to go back to last week, the video I made was talking about the first 3 mushrooms of the rise coffee, mushroom coffee. And so I'm talking about the last 3, which is turkey tail, king trumpet, and lion's mane. Okay? And I talk about how they are adaptogenic mushrooms, which basically means that they help to reduce the stress, anxiety, and fatigue, and other stressors in our body. They help to manage that. All of them do. Okay, so that's even powerful. And I'm talking about how all these mushrooms have a lot in common. Some of them have the same properties. Okay, and it makes it even more powerful. But just be consistent, sweetie, and thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. Cognitive function. So again, we need our brains, and we want to be thinking well until we pass and we take a dirt nap. We don't want to be having dementia and Alzheimer's. Those diseases are so heartbreaking, because I have an auntie right now who's going through that, and she don't know us. She don't even recognize her siblings. She don't recognize her nieces, and her own daughter, her one and only daughter. It's sad. Thank you, sister. I appreciate that. I do. I appreciate you giving me acknowledgement in that. That's because I'm here for you all. Thank you for that. And it's sad. I don't want, and it runs in my family. So you don't think I thought about that? Like, man, Lord, I don't want to have dementia and Alzheimer's. I just don't. It's so sad to not remember the people that you love, and you off in a whole new world. When I go and visit her, I'll be wondering, what is she thinking about? Where is she at in her mind? And I just sit there and I look at her and I hold her hand and I say, Auntie, I love you. She named me, and she don't even know me. She don't know me, but she gave me my name. So it's like, and me and her daughter have the same birthday. My cousin Kim, she's the oldest cousin, and we got the same birthday. My birthday is October 22nd, so y'all don't forget to wish me a happy birthday, okay? This month. And she doesn't even know me. It's so sad. It's so sad. And it's heartbreaking to see my mom, talk to her sister, and her sister don't know her. It's just sad. So these things run in a family. Then why are you not being preventative, like taking preventative actions? You know what I'm saying? Why are you not being proactive? So I'm here to push you to be proactive about your health, to tell you don't have to sit in there. You don't have to wait till it comes and knocks at your door. It's your turn, Cashel, to get Alzheimer's. You knocking on the wrong door. I'm not ready, and I don't want you, and I'm prepared. So go away, because I done took my healthy dose of King Trumpet. No, thank you. I don't want to forget. I want to remember the good as well as the bad in my life, because they all have been beautiful lessons. Okay? So at the end of the day, don't let it come at you and you ain't prepared. Don't sit there and wait for diabetes to come because everybody in your family got it. Come on. Let's not do that, because then you got kids, you putting this burden on them to be worried about you, Mom, did you make sure you took your your insulin today? Did you give yourself a shot? Because I remember last week you were so busy you forgot that you almost had it, was in a coma. Or Mom, are you taking care of that foot because you got neuropathy? And I know your medicines is hurting, and you don't have any feelings in your toes. And because you don't have feelings in your toes, because of neuropathy, too high sugar in your blood, when you stub your toe, you hurt your toe, and it's an open sore or it gets infected, you don't feel it. So now the infection then went from your big toe, they got to cut your big toe off, to now your foot, they got to cut your foot off. Now it went to your calf, so now they got to cut your calf off. I've seen it happen in my own family. I've seen it happen. Well, welcome, Brother Jermaine. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I gotta say it, brother. I gotta say it. And sometimes it's not good to say, people don't want to, why are you talking like that? I'm talking like that because I love you. I'm talking like that because you, my sister, and my brothers. I would wish that somebody would talk to me like this, if I was sick. Wake me up out of this fog. We cannot be just living in this earth and just not exercising and moving a bit and, being cognizant of what we're eating. And then passing this stuff down to Sister Jermaine. I'm sorry, Sister Jermaine. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, babe. Not passing this down to our kids and our grandkids. Okay? Come on now. We got to wake up. Sister Jermaine, I apologize, babe. I just automatically looked at that. I'm like, it's got to be due. It's not. I apologize, sweetie. So we got to do better, y'all. We have to do better, okay? And we want to keep our mind. So if King Trumpet is going to help to maintain and restore our cognitive functions, I think we need to be taking that. I think that we need to be consistent with that. I think we need to go ahead and try out King Trumpet mushroom and see what it can do for us, okay? And how well it can maintain and improve our cognitive function. All right? Okay, last but least, y'all, we got lion's mane. Lion's mane, aka Hericium erinaceus. Okay, Hericium erinaceus is the scientific name for lion's mane mushroom. Okay, and have any of y'all who is on the live right now, have you all tasted any of these mushrooms? Turkey tail, lion's mane, and king trumpet. Have you tasted any of these mushrooms? Okay, and some of them are weird looking. Okay, some of them are weird looking. Like I said, my next video, or one of my videos I'm going to do, is I'm going to actually order, because where I live, we don't have a variety of mushrooms. But I want to order these mushrooms, and I'm going to do a live or do a video on how they look, and how either I prepared it or how they are prepared. Okay, using certain seasonings and things like that, herbs and spices and things like that. So that now, if you do come across it, you have at least a little reference on, like, okay, well, Sister Cashel said to do it this way and to put these seeds, I'm going to test it. Or you experiment yourself and come back on here and like, sis, it tastes good when I added this spice, when I cooked it this way, when I baked it this way. I would love to hear any of you all's input or suggestions on how to prepare these, okay? So lion's mane, y'all, lion's mane mushrooms have been used in traditional medicine like the rest of these, okay, for thousands of years. Again, how many times are we hearing this? Thousands of years these mushrooms have been around and have helped the people in the past medicinally. Centuries these mushrooms have been around. These mushrooms are nothing new. There is nothing new under the sun. Okay? Yeah, Rise is all the rave right now, but these mushrooms have been around for centuries, helping people, healing people, getting people right, making them feel better. And we're just now finding out. It's okay, because I'm happy to spread the news. I'm happy to tell you what it does for you. And so now you can get on the good foot and start incorporating that into some of your foods, your dinners, your lunches. Okay? So it's been used for centuries. In China, they've been known as mushrooms of the gods, and were highly valued for their ability to support brain health. Okay, there's that cognitive function again, and improve digestion, so for our gut, and boost overall vitality. Who won't want that? Who won't want that? I want to live I'll be 49 October 22nd. I'm trying to live my best life. I am not trying to as I get older, I'm now losing stuff. I can't do this you know, as good as I used to. Okay, we know we might move a little slower. We might, but who said that we got to move a little slower? Who says that we have to lose stuff? We're losing our sight. I'm losing my hair. You know, I can't do this. I can't do that. Who says? Why are we putting these limitations on ourselves? The Most High made us. Have we forgot the power that He put inside of us? Have we forgot who we are? I think we have. And I'm here to tell you, y'all, we are powerful beings. We are actually not this body. We are avatars in this body, this body, this suit. Just like we wear our clothes, this underneath the skin suit is our souls, and we are so powerful. We are light beings. We are light beings. So why are we limiting ourselves? Why are we saying that, as we get old, this can't do this no more, you can't do that, and this is going to fall off, and this is going to stop growing, and we ain't going to have as many cells in this, and we lose our brain cells. I hear that all the time. I'm like, not me. I'm not losing not a one brain cell, and if I lose a brain cell, guess what? Those things are regenerative. Your brain cells do regenerate. They like to tell you, no, it don't. Once you lose your brain cells, it's gone. That's a lie. Our bodies are living. Our bodies are living. They're constantly regenerating everything. Our organ cells, our body cells, our skin cells, our eye cells, our hair cells stop. There's nothing that just stops. It stops when the Most High takes His breath away so that we can actually go to life, okay? And so it's not to death, but we're death in this body, but we go back to what we know, and then all that stops. But as long as you are breathing, your body's constantly trying to heal. Your body is constantly healing itself. Don't let nobody tell you no different, because they're lying. As long as that's its job. Its job is to keep you in good health as much as it can, but you need to help support it. Okay? So again, these mushrooms have been around for ancients of years, centuries. Okay? And it probably, what they ain't going to tell you is civilizations. It might be back there from the Mayan civilization. But they can't tell you all that. They don't want to tell you all that. That's too much power. But these mushrooms were known as the mushrooms of the gods and were highly valued for their ability to support brain health. And in Japan, they've been used for centuries. Do you hear? Look, centuries. Centuries. And they will cook them traditionally, particularly in soups and stews, for their medicinal properties. Can I have a soup or a stew of lion's mane? I ain't never heard of it. Never heard of lion's mane mushrooms growing up. I just got introduced to them literally probably about a month ago or two. I've never tasted any of these mushrooms. I'm not even gonna lie to you. And that's really sad because, they talk about these things, but you go to these grocery stores and a lot of things that's healthy for you, they really don't have at the store. And then they want to put them in these high price, supposed, what is these different stores, y'all? Help me out. Something Joe's and the other place where you can go and get like supposed organic, foods that don't have, the sugars, the altered sugars and things like that. I'm about to say Happy Joe's. No, it's not Happy Joe's. Whole Foods and some other place. Something with Joe's. I can't remember it, but some of those things are so high priced. Some people just really can't afford to shop there. So they probably have all these mushrooms. I don't know, but I'm gonna start going and do my research. But we don't have those places. We don't have a Whole Foods here. So I'll probably have to go out of town to go and see if the Whole Foods that's in the next town over, the town afterwards, I don't know if they even have these different mushrooms. Okay? But lion's mane mushrooms are so good for you. Okay? And scientifically, they improve appearance as well. They're good for your appearance. So they're celebrated for their impressive health benefits and, for their unique appearance. Okay? So if these mushrooms have been used for centuries and they have helped heal people, then again, how are we any different? They can help heal our ailments and our diseases. So I admonish you to go out and try these different mushrooms because they will change your life. I'm so sure of it. I mean, they're already doing a doozy in my life with just the Rise coffee. Okay? So if they're doing something in this powder, okay, that I use in the morning time and drink, how much more just by itself, these mushrooms by themselves? Thank you, sis. She said, will do. Yes. Yes. We have to be more cognizant of our own health. Okay, we do. We have to put us first. Don't let anybody dictate to you what you should be putting in your body. Okay, and how much of something you should be putting in your body that is not good for you. We got to start doing our own research about what it is that we're putting in. We have to be more intentional about that. If you enjoy coffee, you said, I enjoy the coffee now, I'll try the mushrooms. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So the habitat, where did this lion's mane mushroom, where does it come from? So lion's mane mushroom typically grows on dead or dying hardwood trees, pretty much the same as the rest of the mushrooms I'm talking about, okay, such as oak, maple, and beech, okay? And so they are typically found and grow pretty much the same way. They're commonly found in forests during late summer and fall, okay? And so if you're near a forest and you really just want to be, just kind of like a gatherer. Back in the days, they used to do that. The trappers with the men and gathering the fruits and the berries and things in the forest. Then go and just, go for a stroll. And it's like, if you got a nice forest, go and see if you see, go obviously and see how a lion's mane mushroom looks. And then just go and see if you can find some. I mean, I didn't told you where they grow and when they grow. They're commonly found in forests during late summer and fall. Basically now. Okay? Be your own explorer. The benefits, brain health. I mean, across the board just about. That's why it make this Rise mushroom coffee is so powerful, because these mushrooms pretty much have the same properties. Some of them have a little different properties than others, because one of them have like cancer preventing properties. Not all of them do, but I don't think that they can't prevent you. But they speak of some one or two that specifically can help with this property, that makes sure that you're protected against a certain or just cancer, period. They have cancer preventing properties. But this mushroom in particular helps brain health, supports brain health by promoting the growth of brain cells and enhancing cognitive function. Again, we just talked about that. Alzheimer's and dementia is running rampant today. It's almost diagnosed as type 3 diabetes because of the sugars. Okay? It's kind of associated kind of in that way with Alzheimer's, the sugars and the plaque that ends up being on a person's brain that has dementia or Alzheimer's. Okay? They help protect against dementia and improve memory and focus. There you go. This is your cure. Lion's mane mushroom. This runs in your family, dementia, Alzheimer's. Lion's mane is a cure. If you're drinking Rise coffee consistently, there's your cure. Amongst other things. Okay? This is exciting. Y'all should be happy about this. Like, this is awesome. And you know what? And I'm grateful for the people who do come up with, things like Rise mushrooms. And you have a lot of, like I said, we got a lot of black men, who are really just strong now with, these shops with putting these herbs and spices and stuff together and selling them and really wanting our people. I love that. I love that because it just speaks of how we are evolving and we are trying to protect our own as well as everybody else. We waking up. We are waking up to like, y'all, we are killing ourselves with eating these fast foods so much. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and tell you that I don't eat a good burger when I want one. I'm not going to lie to you because, baby, I will go get me I will give me a Whopper with cheese when I feel like it. But I don't eat it on a consistent basis. That's the thing. You don't eat it on a consistent basis. And are you exercising? Are you moving? Yes, I exercise. I move. I'm not just sitting eating burgers. I'm not sitting eating processed foods all the time. I'm not sitting eating fried and baked foods. fried foods and things like that. No, now we got the air fryer. That helps. So things are coming out that is going to help us to better, navigate our how we eat food and how we consume food. Okay, so let's get into it. So nerve restoration is one of the benefits or properties of lion's mane. Lion's manes have compounds that stimulate the production of nerve growth factor (NGF), which aids in the repair and regeneration of nerve cells. Okay, so when we talk about diabetes and neuropathy, they're saying that the high level of sugar in your blood is what causes the death of your nerves. Did I just give you a cure? Did a cure just pop in that's been here for centuries through lion's mane as a cure for, first of all, repairing those so-called dead nerves from sugars, diabetes? This right here is going to help restore, regenerate. So that's why I say they lie to me and say, oh, you can't get those back. Once those nerves die, once those cells die, they're going for good. Yeah, they're going for good, but there is regenerative power within our bodies. We're regenerating every day, every second of the day. Our bodies just don't quit on us. We quit on it, and it still be working overtime to, okay, so you ain't doing it, so I guess I got to do it. And it's not until we wake up, like, wait a minute, what can I do to help it? For some people, it's going vegan. Some people, Presbyterian. Okay, I'm not saying Presbyterian. Sounds like a religion. Pescatarian. Yeah, that's what I think. We just only eat fish, not Presbyterian. That's a religion. Okay. Some people, their bodies do a whole turnaround from whatever they was dealing with, whatever chronic illness they were dealing with or disease they were dealing with. And so changing their diet completely has helped them. Okay? But that's not for everybody. You got vegans who come down with cancer. So if somebody told you need to stop eating meat because that's what's killing you and you need to go and eat some other meal, it depends on what you're putting in your body is what I'm saying to you. Just because you stop eating meat does not necessarily mean that you're not going to get certain diseases. And it does mean that certain diseases maybe you won't get. But it depends on what it is that you're putting on your body and how it is that you're going about now curing your body. It's really it's a person by person situation on how you do that. Okay, because they can't say across the board if you're, diabetic, if you completely stop eating, meats that, it's going to cure you. First of all, it has nothing to do with meats. And I'm saying my personal opinion and what I've studied. It has everything to do with just your diet itself. Now, eating meat or putting meat to the side, maybe temporarily, you will see some changes in your blood sugar levels, and your glucose levels, your insulin levels. You will. And then you can stabilize it, and then you can pick up meat and eat maybe less of it. Eat smaller portions of it. Maybe eat meat once or twice a month or once or twice a week. Tailor it to your health, how you live. I don't believe, and maybe people I'm sure will argue with me, I don't believe in just totally stop completely eating certain things. I'm not going to be the type of person that's just not going to eat meat anymore. I'm sorry, I love meat. I love meat. But I'm just not going to fool myself by saying that I'm just not going to eat meat anymore. Now, if I were to get severely sick, would I cut out meat for a time being? Yes, I would. And I will focus more on my vegetables and fruits and things like that. But I do that now. So there's never going to be a time where I have to just stop because I'm not eating enough of fruits and vegetables and juicing and things like that. I do that now. So that's the key. Get into the habit of this being a lifestyle. Don't get into the lifestyle of now, let me just go ahead and stop meat all completely. And that's not really something you want to do, but you have to because your body's in a state of just sickness. And this is like almost a fail-safe, like let me do this now. Almost like if you got sick today. The thing that I would tell anybody who has cancer today, who has some major disease going on, I would tell them to fast. And fast does not always mean just to cut out all meats or anything, but to just drink water. There's different fasts today. Now, back in the day when I was growing up, because my parents are pastors, I'm a PK's kid, we fasted as a church and in my home every Wednesday. We didn't have nothing to eat where we were not supposed to. I did come home with my bag lunches at times. But we weren't supposed to eat anything on Wednesday. And the only thing you drunk was water. Today is different. There's a fasting, there's intermittent fasting, which I do as well. So I might not eat until 12, lunchtime, and then I'll stop eating at 8. I do my 8 hours of eating, and I'm not eating every hour that I'm supposed to be eating from the 12 to 8. And then for the 16, 17 hours or whatever that you're not supposed to be eating anything, you don't eat anything. Okay, so at the end of the day, if you eat well now, if you incorporate plenty of fruits and vegetables in your diet, and you're not eating a whole slew of meats, you're not eating a whole slew, I thought you left for work, and you're not eating a whole slew of sugars and things like that, then you're good. And you're moving, and you're moving too, right? So at the end of the day, you just have to be mindful of what you're putting in your body, okay, and not just be so complacent until now you can't afford to be complacent because you got this disease or this illness looming over you. Let's not wait until stuff like this happens to you. Let's again be proactive, okay? And you just heard what lion's mane does for you. Nerve restoration. So for people who have diabetes or having issues with their nerves, because it doesn't have to just be diabetes, it can be you had an accident and you have nerve damage in your spine, your foot, your leg, whatever, your back. Lion's manes have compounds that stimulate the production of nerve growth factor, NGF, nerve growth factor, which aids in the repair and regeneration of the nerve cells. Okay, and this is beneficial for recovering for your nervous system or from nervous system injuries. Okay? Are y'all hearing me? My God, this is some good stuff. It has anti-inflammatory properties. All of them have anti-inflammatory properties. We need our bodies to be less inflamed. Inflammation shows up in diseases and chronic illnesses. Period. Now, there is a balance because we want to be inflamed a little bit. And I know that might sound crazy, but there's a certain amount of inflammation that is healthy for our bodies. Just like there's a certain amount of mucus that we have to have in our bodies. But when it's overran with mucus and now we got infections in our chest and stuff and we spewing up this mucus and stuff, the mucus is there to catch the bacteria and things in our bodies, and we're supposed to expel it. Okay? So we're dealing with a balance of stuff in our bodies. Our bodies have to be balanced. There's a certain amount of bacteria that helps our bodies to run. But when it's overran with too much bacteria, then now there's a problem. Our bodies are out of balance. The same with down there. If our normal flora within our private females, our private area is off balance, what happens? We get yeast infections. It could be too much sugars, okay? It could be the introduction of semen that's foreign to us, okay? It could be what you're drinking. You're not drinking maybe enough water or too much sugary drinks. And now our bacteria down there is out of whack. The normal flora of our vaginal spaces is out of whack. So now we show up and we have a yeast infection. And that's our body saying, hey, we out of whack. You got to get us together because we're not balanced right now. Our body is constantly giving us signals to say how well we're doing, or hey, something ain't right. Something ain't right. You keep getting these headaches. Why I keep getting these headaches? It seems like I keep getting this headache after I eaten, these burgers. Okay, well, you might want to look into that. Why, when you eat McDonald's burgers, you always get a headache? Yeah, don't just, come on. Are we paying attention? I don't think we're paying attention to our bodies. Our bodies are constantly talking to us. We have to pay attention to our bodies. Our bodies are living. And if we're not paying attention to it, after a while, it's like, okay, I told you, I'm still going to help you out, but now you got diabetes. Now you have congestive heart failure. But I was telling you then, when you was having, some issues with your heart then, like, you going up the stairs and it's 5 stairs you going up and you short of breath. Your body then, when you got to the very top of the 5th stair, was telling you when you out of breath that something ain't right, but you just ignored it like, man, oh man. You only went 5 steps. Your body's telling you, you need to get up and do something about it. Dude, you should not be out of breath. We need to listen. We ain't listening. And when we don't listen, now we are in a disease state. Now we are chronically ill. We don't want to go to the acute stage because that's when it's starting. But okay, we heard in the acute stage. The acute stage is when you have something going on. It's just for a short period of time. It's like, okay, I'm catching it. I caught it. Okay, this has been going on for a couple of months. Chronic is years. What we doing? Your body's been telling you this for years, and it's like, yeah, I should have known. It was something not right with my gut back in the day, but I just figured throw some Pepto-Bismol in there, and when I did have that, it did make me feel better. But every time I did A, B, and C, I had the same symptoms, and I just used Pepto-Bismol. So you band-aiding the problem. You ain't even fixing it. So now it got to the point where now you can't boo-boo. Your gut is jacked up. Because all those years your body was saying, hey, something ain't right here. We all balanced. We need fixing. So we got to do better, okay? We have to do better. So back to lion's mane has anti-inflammatory properties, which means that it reduces inflammation in our body. So it's going to help to keep the balance, okay? It helps with our gut support. So it helps promote gut bacteria, improves digestion, okay? Heart health. It helps with improving our heart by reducing cholesterol levels. How wonderful! Because high blood pressure and high cholesterol is running rampant in our families today. Okay, and it supports overall cardiovascular health. So anything dealing with the heart, this lion's mane is like, I got you. I'm gonna support you. It helps to reduce stress and fatigue. Okay, by promoting relaxation and better sleep. Okay. So when we are talking about all these mushrooms and what it can do for us, y'all, these mushrooms are powerful. Let's not sleep on these mushrooms. We didn't talk about king trumpet, lion's mane, and we didn't talk about turkey tail mushrooms today. If you want to look at the other video that talk about the other 3, go look it up, and you'll find that they definitely have similar properties, which makes them also very important and so powerful. And they're all adaptogenic, which means that they help in reducing stress and anxiety in our bodies. All of them have that property. Okay, so I need you all to just be more cognizant of what we're putting in our bodies, more cognizant of what's going on with our bodies. These little, ooh, that hurt. Oh man, it's when I do this, what happened? I'm feeling this pain every time I eat this, every time I do A, B, and C. We need to be paying more attention to our bodies, okay, and what we put in our bodies. You just learned about 3 more mushrooms that are so good for you. Go out and try them out. Go out and try Rise mushroom coffee and do that consistently. We just talked about being consistent. You have to be consistent. Don't expect to start anything holistic and you do it for a couple of days, a couple of weeks, and you're expecting this turnaround of your disease or illness in those couple of weeks or days or even months. If it's taking you years to get to you having congestive heart failure, leaky gut syndrome, and diabetes, it's going to take a while for these things for your herbal or your medicinal medicines to kick in. Okay, but be consistent with it, and tell yourself while you're taking this that I'm getting better. Affirm within yourself. Speak positive things to your body, because your body needs all the help that it can get from you once you start waking up and saying, okay, I'm gonna help you too, because it's doing all that it can do by itself. But after a while, it gets tired. That's why eventually when you're in the disease state and a person's like, well, they're not gonna make it, they're in the hospital and we've put them in an induced coma. At this point in life, your body has said, I have done all that I could do. I can't do anymore. And the Most High comes and gets and relieves you of this suit so that you can go back to where disease and all this stuff is not even an issue. It's this is new, coming down to earth plane. Okay? So at the end of the day, while we have these bodies, let's take care of our bodies. Let's live the greatest lives that we can ever live. Okay? Let's allow ourselves to have a great quality of life. Okay? You can do that in this life. You don't have to be sick. You don't have to be riddled with illnesses and things like that and be hurting when you get to bed, when you wake up in the morning time. Stop. We have all the cures that we need today, right now. I just told you about these mushrooms that have been used medicinally for centuries. Centuries. Not last year, centuries. And we can do the same. We can incorporate these mushrooms right now. Start telling the story to our kids, our grandkids, so they can be healthier, so they can live long, and their quality of life is beautiful. Okay? Thank you all so much for your time. I appreciate you all for coming this Sunday afternoon and listening to me talk, scold, suggest. I appreciate you all so much. And come back, be with me next Sunday while we get into something else. I don't know what we're going to be talking about, but I'll post it this week. And come back and be with me again, okay? And thank you all, beautiful people, for, again, coming and being with me and sharing your time with me. I thank you. Please subscribe to my Facebook. I'm trying to get at least 60,000 before the year ends. We've been at 30K, and I'm so grateful for the 30K. But baby, we have been here for at least almost 2 years now. Let's move it. Tell your friends about this Facebook platform, Holistic Healing Using Herbs and Spices. Tell them about it. Tell them that you get, it's free. Obviously, you ain't got to pay to look at those videos. Like my videos and subscribe, y'all. Just be a part of the holistic family. Thank you all, and until next time, be blessed and be well. Thank you.